Today's show is sponsored by the Electric Vehicle Association. Join up to support the electrification of transport and get the help you need to finance your own EV or clean energy future. And by Energy Sage. Visit the link in the description to find local, verified solar experts, community projects and heat pump specialists in your area. And by Atmos Financial. Bank better with a financial technology company that's powered by a portfolio of clean energy investments. Welcome back to another episode of TEN, Transport Evolved News. This week has been another tough week for many watching, so as with last week, here's hoping that the next bit of EV and clean energy news will get you finishing the week on a positive note. So let's get on with it, and of course, thanks for joining me. I am going to start today with some notes from last week's show that led some people to get a little angry in the comments. First, I used incorrect terminology referring to the Tesla autopilot case that settled out of court. I said the plaintiffs were looking to find Tesla and Elon Musk guilty, but folks with more legal knowledge than I suggested I use the term liable as a more appropriate descriptor. So I'm sorry for any confusion that came from my own ignorance. Second, a few people got upset about reporting of stories that changed between our recording and our publishing. Making this show is a 2-day process for one person, and unfortunately time dilation is a thing. I wish it weren't, but the only way we can get rid of that is to increase our Patreon support so that we could hire a member of staff. So link in the down below if you'd like to see that happen. We start today's show with some bad news from Tesla, which laid off more than 10% of its staff at the start of the week. The layoffs, announced in a company-wide email, blamed rapid growth within the company and emphasised a need for cost reductions and increased productivity. Among staff laid off were those working on Tesla's NV9 project, the code name for the long-promised $25,000 EV. While Reuters reported 2 weeks ago that Tesla was cancelling that project, Elon Musk refuted it. But Tesla has technically postponed rather than cancelled the project, and Elon Musk has said to be put all of Tesla's metaphorical eggs in the robotaxi basket. Tesla has promised to unveil said vehicle on August 8th. Among those who left Tesla this week were Tesla's Senior VP of Powertrain and Energy and Tesla's Policy Chair. Not helping this news are reports that Tesla sent incorrect severance package emails to laid-off staff. Tesla stock has fallen this week by more than 13% in the last 5 days at the time of filming. GMC officially launched its sibling to the Chevrolet Silverado EV this week, the 2024 GMC Sierra EV Denali. The first version to break cover is the 2024 Sierra EV Denali Edition 1, which features a claimed 440 miles, 708 kilometres of range from its massive battery pack, a pack which hasn't confirmed a size but which we are guessing is in excess of 200 kilowatt hours in capacity. Built on the same Ultium platform as the Hummer EV and Silverado EV, the Sierra EV Denali features the same kind of specs, including 800-volt, 350 kilowatt DC fast charging, 4-wheel steer, crab walk, and 10,000-pound, 4.5 metric ton towing capacity. Deliveries start this summer with prices close to $100,000. From a vehicle that few can afford to some good news about affordability, namely a new study from Vincentric has confirmed what many of us know. EV ownership can save you money. Looking at all of the electric vehicles on sale in North America today, it examined depreciation, fees and taxes, financing, fuel, cost, maintenance and repairs, and for an assumption of 15,000 miles per year over 5 years of ownership, shows that 49% of all 2024 model year EVs are cheaper to own over a 5-year period compared to similar internal combustion engine models. That is fantastic news, but it should come with a caveat, because last year the exact same study found that 52% of EVs were cheaper than comparable gasoline vehicles over a 5-year period. We learned this week that the US National Transportation Safety Board is investigating a second fatal accident involving Ford's BlueCruise hands-free driver assistance system. A few weeks ago, we told you about the first fatality that took place on February 24th, in which a stationary Honda CR-V was hit late at night near Austin, Texas by a Mustang Mach-E being driven with BlueCruise active. A second collision early on the morning of March 3rd, when a Ford Mustang Mach-E hit 2 stationary cars on Interstate 95 in Philadelphia, killed 2 people. While BlueCruise is suspected in the second incident, the NTSB has not yet completed its initial investigation at the time of writing this script and filming the show. If your car has an advanced Level 2 system, I should remind you it requires full supervision at all times. Mercedes-Benz has unveiled a refresh to its e-Sprinter lineup in North America for the 2025 model year, expanding options and choice in an increasingly competitive market. Most noticeable is the inclusion of a new lower-priced 81 kilowatt-hour usable capacity battery pack, which, along with a choice of different wheelbases and roof heights, allows the e-Sprinter to more directly compete against Ford's e-Transit. Mercedes-Benz also notes that the smaller capacity battery pack allows for larger payload capacity when you compare it to the 113 kilowatt-hour battery pack option, meaning that for many last-mile delivery companies, the smaller capacity battery pack is a smarter choice. The new model year starts at $61,250. This week, we learned that the US government is readying itself to reintroduce import tariffs on Chinese-made solar technology, and now lawmakers want the same for Chinese-made EVs. This week, Senate Democrat Sherrod Brown penned a public letter to President Joe Biden calling on the executive branch to ensure that the US takes steps to ensure that Chinese-made electric vehicles are not allowed into the US. Citing evidence from investigations into price fixing in other countries, Brown stated that Chinese EVs, highly and unfairly subsidized by the Chinese government, risk not only decimating domestic EV production, but also posed potential security risks, giving the PRC access to US citizens' personal data. We should expect more from Senator Brown and other lawmakers on the matter in coming months. In the same week that it announced substantial layoffs at facilities around the world, Tesla is looking for shareholder support to pay Elon Musk an estimated $55 billion. Back in January, a judge in Delaware, where Tesla is currently incorporated, said that Elon Musk's 2018 compensation package, worth an estimated $55 billion, couldn't be awarded after siding with a shareholder that had sued Tesla and Musk for misrepresenting the original package to shareholders. Thusly, Musk, and by extension Tesla, now wants shareholder approval to move Tesla's state of incorporation to Texas from Delaware, and then for shareholders to reapprove Musk's compensation package. Tesla has made a new website called supportteslavalue.com, where it makes its case for a double yes vote. Lucid has made some substantial changes to its Lucid Air Grand Touring for the 2024 model year, including faster charging, a heat pump, and even more range. As confirmed midweek, the new version of the Lucid Air Grand Touring, which has a starting price just shy of $110,000, manages an EPA estimated 516 miles, that's 830 kilometers per charge. Some of that range improvement comes from giving the Lucid Air Grand Touring the same high-efficiency heat pump found in the Lucid Air Sapphire, along with tweaks to motor design, controller and battery pack. The Lucid Air Grand Touring now has battery preconditioning as well, which reduces the time you'll spend at a charging station, if you can afford the car. The Lucid Air Grand Touring might have an impressive range per charge, but if you're in the market for a more affordable EV, Hyundai Motor Group comes out top for efficiency. As data from the US Department of Energy and EPA and reported on by Eletre shows, 6 out of the 10 most efficient EVs on sale in North America today are made by Hyundai or Kia, with the Ioniq 6 long-range rear-wheel drive coming out top, its standard range sibling in third place, and a whole host of other Hyundai Kia vehicles in the mix. Lucid occupies second and fourth place with its Lucid Air Pure rear-wheel drive, fitted with 19 and 20-inch wheels respectively, while the BMW i4 eDrive 35 with 18-inch wheels and Polestar 2 single motor with 19-inch wheels come in 6th and 9th place respectively. Tesla, once the efficiency top 10 king, is now off the list completely. Tesla has reportedly halted all deliveries of its Cybertruck after an issue was discovered with the accelerator pedal that could lead affected vehicles to suddenly suffer unintended acceleration. And in the time between us filming the show and editing it, that halt has become an official recall after multiple reports that the accelerator cover on the Tesla Cybertruck can slip and become stuck in a seam in the driver's side footwell, causing the accelerator to remain depressed and the vehicle to continue to accelerate. Given that some versions of the Cybertruck can do the stoplight sprint in under 3 seconds, this recall, of which just under 4,000 Cybertrucks are affected, is a top priority for the company. Multiple Cybertruck owners reported delays in taking over their new vehicles prior to the recall, with many people citing issues with the accelerator as the cause for the delay. Our short shorts are coming in the second, but first a word from longtime sponsor of this channel, Energy Sage. Energy Sage helps homeowners connect with local verified solar installers across the US and now heat pump specialists in select markets who really know their stuff and can help you navigate the process of installing solar panels, help you join a community solar program, or get a heat pump installed. I used Energy Sage when we were looking for installers willing to help us put solar panels on the roof of our home, and our Energy Sage verified installers were professional, knowledgeable, and even put us in touch with an amazing credit union that allowed us to finance our solar panels for as low a monthly payment as possible. Follow the links below to sign up for either of Energy Sage's free, no obligation services and get that ball rolling today. If you choose to use an Energy Sage installer for your project, we will also get a small referral fee, so you'll be helping us out too. And as I've said in previous episodes, as someone whose local utility puts rates up by 18% in January, I am very glad I have had solar installed. So won't you join me? And now it's time for short shorts. Nissan has shared an update on the construction of a new all-solid-state battery production line in Japan at its Yokohama plant in the Kanagawa prefecture. The pilot line will be used by Nissan to further develop series production techniques for future solid-state batteries. Rivian is pushing a new over-the-air software update to its vehicles that includes reliability scoring for public charging. It's designed to help make it easier for Rivian owners to find and use public charging that's reliable, as well as leave tips and scoring for other owners. Despite finding itself in a pretty tough financial situation and with production still halted, Fisker has welcomed new dealerships in the US and Europe as it looks to increase its sales and save itself from bankruptcy. Those dealerships are already accepting orders. Ford has officially opened the order books for the 2024 F150 Lightning 1 week after confirming specs and pricing. While the MSRP remains unchanged for the Platinum variant, all other versions get between $2,500 and $5,500 in discounts when compared to previous years. Fossil fuel giant BP, whose acquisition of various charging networks around the world caused significant concern, has done what many feared it would: cut jobs and scaled back its EV charging push in most markets around the world. In some, it's completely exited them. In order to remain competitive in China and go head-to-head with BYD, the current EV champ in the Chinese marketplace, Volkswagen is preparing to launch a slew of new models built on the EE platform it's jointly developed with XPeng exclusively for the Chinese market. Google Maps announced this week that it's bringing new charging features to its mobile apps designed to improve the charging experience for EV drivers using Google Maps. Not only do the new features add specific instructions on finding hard-to-reach charging stations, it also adds better EV route planning to the mix. Kia is said to be working on an all-new update to its EV6 with a refresh version due to debut this summer. According to multiple reports, the mid-cycle refresh to the first-generation EV6 will include redesigned headlights, an active air skirt, and improvements to range. Price cuts for 2023 model year EVs still in inventory, alongside lower comparable pricing for 2024 model year EVs, means that on average EV prices are down 18% this month, year on year, when compared to last year. The CEO of XPeng shared a video on LinkedIn this week showing its Level 2 semi-autonomous software in operation in Germany. Called NGP, it's a hands-off, eyes-up Level 2 driver assistance system that's similar to Ford's BlueCruise or Tesla's FSD. Tesla has officially lowered the price to charge a non-Tesla electric vehicle at its V3 superchargers in Europe. Non-Tesla customers can buy a Tesla membership at a new lower price of €9.99 a month or €100 a year. BMW has received official planning permission to start construction of its new battery assembly plant in Lower Bavaria. The firm had previously received planning permission to start groundwork for the facility and install construction officers for the project. Volkswagen is being sued by a German company called Identitech for using the moniker ID in its vehicles. Identitech says it believes Volkswagen, which used to be one of its customers, infringed on its own copyright when it began using the ID prefix for its electric vehicles. Doosan, working in collaboration with LG, has unveiled an autonomous charging solution for EVs. While some might view this as overkill, it's important to note that DC fast charging cables are heavy and unwieldy, and not everyone can easily use them unassisted. Piedmont Lithium has received all of the necessary mining and planning permits from the state of North Carolina to begin work on a new mining and refining operation in Gaston County. It will provide lithium spodumene to the US auto industry. GM has officially unveiled its new EV-to-home two-way charging system for use with its Ultium-based vehicles. Similar to Ford's vehicle-to-home system, it can now be ordered for $7,500 and, says GM, could power your home for up to 21 days when paired with the right vehicle. Sales data from the first quarter of this year shows that sales of hydrogen fuel cell vehicles fell by 70% year-on-year, representing the lowest sales figures for hydrogen fuel cell vehicles since 2016 and the second lowest quarter in a row. Talking of which, Toyota owners and lessees of the Mirai hydrogen fuel cell sedan are getting truly fed up with the lack of filling infrastructure and support in the US, with talk of legal action among customers and owners in the San Francisco Bay Area with no fully functioning hydrogen filling stations left. Lotus has priced its Eletre SUV for the US market. Priced from $107,000, the high-performance SUV isn't going to be affordable for most, but then again, it's being marketed as an electric alternative to the Lamborghini Urus. Jaguar Land Rover is readying itself to sign a new platform agreement with Chinese brand Chery. The new deal, if completed, would give it access to Chery's EOX platform, a platform that's designed specifically for high-end, luxury, electrified vehicles. We're only into April, but data from the US government shows that since the start of this year, approximately 100,000 people have made use of the IRS's new point-of-sale EV tax credit system, representing $580 million of incentives. Just 1 week after it unveiled its new vehicle, the Milano, Alfa Romeo has been forced to change the vehicle's name due to legal challenges from the Italian government. It's all to do with the fact that the car is going to be made in Poland rather than Italy, and thus now it'll be known as the Junior. California's entire electrical grid has been operating for more than a month, with 100% of its electrical demand met by renewable electricity. This is a phenomenal achievement and reiterates that our electrical grid around the world is just getting greener. Jaguar Land Rover, working in collaboration with Ali Energy, has unveiled a new portable second life battery system that's powered by used plug-in hybrid battery packs. JLR says the system could be used to offer buffer storage for fast charging stations, smoothing grid demand. The planned British Volt battery production gigafactory that was once hailed as a new chapter for the UK automotive industry is looking like it will never happen. Instead, a large data centre is expected to occupy the land once earmarked for the facility. Maserati has finally unveiled a super expensive electric convertible EV in the form of the Gran Cabrio Furore. Unveiled during an exclusive live-streamed event, it featured live music and lots of hype, exactly what you'd expect for a car that costs over $200,000. Audi has won a legal case against rival car company NIO over the use of the S designation in vehicle names. Audi was unhappy that NIO uses an E in front of names that are otherwise known as Audi model names, and the Munich Higher Regional Court has sided with it. A new production facility being built in Ohio, USA by Honda is taking shape far more quickly than originally planned. Honda says the Honda EV hub will start producing EVs for the North American market by the end of next year. The Canadian province of British Columbia has officially banned cars with Level 3 autonomous features from driving on its roads. Even if you don't use the feature but your car has it, only Mercedes-Benz cars are currently capable of it, you face a fine and prison time. The Kenyan government has announced a new goal of making all of the nation's public buses electric by 2027. The announcement was made at the opening of the country's first assembly line facility for electric buses, owned by Bazigo. Amazon is now the largest operator of private charging infrastructure for EVs in the US. This week, we learned that there are more than 17,000 Amazon-owned charging stations deployed between 120 Amazon warehouses across the nation. Traditionally, Tesla hasn't engaged in spending money on advertising, but new data from the company this week shows that since it started paying for advertising, it's spent $200,000 buying ad space on X, which of course is owned by Elon Musk. Toyota is rumoured to be readying a new wave of EVs for the world market, with company executives confirming this week that the brand is working on an all-electric version of its highly popular Highlander SUV. It won't arrive for a few years, but Toyota believes there's a big market for it. A joint venture between Volkswagen and Renault for a new affordable EV with a target price of less than €20,000 is apparently now looking uncertain. Reporting from multiple sources in Europe suggests that unions are breaking down the two groups because of where the factory is going to be assembled. Tesla wasn't the only automaker to announce layoffs this week, with Rivian confirming it's laying off an additional 1% of its staff as it attempts to accelerate its path towards turning a profit. Its shares fell more than 8% this week at the time of filming. Tesla has halved the cost of subscribing to its FSD Supervised, with a monthly subscription now sitting at $99. That said, with more people trying out FSD Supervised, there are a reported increase in the number of Teslas hitting curbs as untrained and unaware owners try the feature out. And finally, for the shorts, Audi teased its planned refresh to the Audi e-Tron GT this week, likely due to get the very same performance boosts and tweaks as the just refreshed Porsche Taycan. We are eager to get this car and put it through its paces. And those are your shorts. There will be more next week. Our final two stories are next, but first, a word from one of today's video sponsors, Atmos Financial. Imagine a bank where your savings not only grow, but also go towards growing a greener world. That is exactly what Atmos Financial does for you. With Atmos, every dollar in your checking and savings account is funding projects that light up lives with solar energy rather than fossil fuels. Atmos is banking that builds a better tomorrow with every swipe of your card today, because it's committed to investing 100% into clean, equitable and sustainable progress. With a 3.5% savings rate and a mobile app, your finances and the climate can go hand in hand. It charges no monthly fees and there are no minimums keeping you awake at night. It offers accessible solar loans for those who want to give the fossil fuel industry the ultimate middle finger. And by joining Atmos using the link below, you're not only choosing a smarter way to bank, you're planting seeds for a healthier earth. And every sign-up supports this channel so we can keep bringing you the content you love. I'm personally a customer and I love knowing that I'm helping save money while also ensuring my money doesn't end up funding the fossil fuel industry. And now it's time for those last two stories. As we have said multiple times before on this show, electric vehicles keep getting greener and greener because the electrical grid they charge from also keeps getting greener. This week, we had a fantastic demonstration of that when data from the Global Wind Energy Council showed that around the world, records were broken by the global wind industry last year. In its just published Global Wind Report 2024, it detailed 117 gigawatts of new wind generation added to the global grid last year, up 50% year on year. Wind generation increased around the world, with only North America and Europe lagging behind on previous years. But the top 5 markets for new wind installations: China, the US, Brazil, Germany, and India. And finally, the more EV drivers are in the world, the more confrontations we're starting to see at charging stations as people behave in inconsiderate or inappropriate ways. This week, we heard the story of a Rivian driver who had the police called on them, not for being antisocial, threatening, or indeed anything nefarious, but rather for daring to use a Tesla supercharger to charge their new Rivian R1S. Rivian and Ford EV owners have been able to use the Tesla supercharger network in the US now for several months, courtesy of special NACS to CCS adapters. But according to the driver in question, some Tesla owners haven't gotten the message. And one irate Tesla owner, after pointing to the Tesla vehicle charging only sign at a supercharger in California, got a little aggressive with them and called the police. The Rivian owner, whose CCS to NACS adapter wasn't playing nice, decided to disengage and just find somewhere else to charge. But seriously, folks, please don't be dicks to each other. I mean, you're not in primary school anymore. And on that note, we are, in fact, done for the day. As always, a massive thank you to the Electric Vehicle Association for sponsoring today's show. They have been advocating for EVs since 1967 and firmly believe that our future depends on us making the switch to clean, green electric cars today. The EVA can help you find someone near to you that can help you make that switch to electric. It can help you become an EV educator, and it can point you in the direction of monthly meetups for like-minded EV fans. Plus, if you become a member, you'll gain access to a clean energy and EV loan program set up between the EVA and the Colorado Clean Energy Credit Union. So find out more by heading to electricauto.org. And thanks to Energy Sage. Follow the link below to find out how easy it can be to get verified, trustworthy solar experts helping you make the step towards energy self-sufficiency through home solar, joining a community solar project, or by getting a heat pump installed. And thanks to Atmos Financial. Bank better by following the link below. As usual, we would all love it if you'd consider supporting us from $1 a month on Patreon, which is about $10.08 a year. The overwhelming majority of our income now comes from Patreon, and it's thanks to you that I'm able to pay the team and make sure that everyone has healthcare, which is super important. If you'd like to help support the channel, follow the links below. You can book myself or Kate for a personal one-on-one consulting session, a full-blown presentation to your community group, or some consulting for your company. And don't forget to visit our swag store for our new design for April, which is all about growing your own EV charging in honour of spring in the Northern Hemisphere. It's got solar panels on and everything. It, along with the rest of our merch, is there for your TE swag needs. And of course, we will be back next week as usual. We've got great content going out on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And to finish, if you're in a group currently feeling the full force brunt of hate at the hands of legislators and justices who do not want you to exist, feel that laws written prior to you gaining the right to vote have precedent over your reproductive rights, or someone is making false statements in government commissioned reports to try and deny your community the healthcare you deserve, know that you are not alone. You're valid, you're loved, you have a place in the world, and you have a voice. So if you haven't, please make sure you use it to register to vote wherever you are in the world. Regardless of how you vote, taking part in the voting process ensures you keep your voice and ensures that democracy continues. So until next time, stay safe regardless of your identity or who you love. Be an amazing ally to others. Be kind. Register to vote. Get active in a campaign. And please, for the sake of everyone's future, keep evolving.